Hey guys, how you doing? This is Joey with Temple Fitness. I am your strength and conditioning coach, and today we are going to talk about your one rep max protocol, establishing that. What is a one rep max? A one rep max is how much can you lift one time in any of the lifts, whether it's a squat, a deadlift, a bench press, a shoulder press. What is it? How much? What is your max attempt? How much can you do in that lift one time? One rep max protocol is important for us to know because we run all of our, I've talked about periodization and the periodized cycle. We run a lot of our weight training or our resistance training based off of that number. So, for example, in hypertrophy, I said hypertrophy is anywhere from 65 to 85% of your one rep max. So when it calls for 65, when the workout calls for 65% of your one rep max, let's just say your one rep max is 100 pounds, you would work with 65 pounds for X amount of reps, which would probably most likely be about 12 to 15 reps. But that's why one rep max is important, and that's why we need to know because we need to know in this periodized cycle where we're at, how much weight we're lifting to make sure that we're maximizing and utilizing and being efficient enough to make sure that we're getting the most out of every single workout that we get. And using the percentages is the way to go. So if you've never done a one rep max before, that's fine. If you just if you have no idea what it is, there's things that we can do. You're not just automatically going to jump into a one rep max. It's dangerous. That's going to get you hurt. We don't want to do that. There's things that we're going to do to help you make sure that you don't do that. One of the things, there's estimators that we're going to use that will help you with to figure out where the 5 rep max is, and then we can I run a formula for you. You put this in this formula, and it allows you to figure out mathematically what your one rep max might be, and it comes pretty close. It gets pretty close without actually having to do the one rep. But after you guys been in the program for a while and you're working up to it and you've gone through your 4 phases and you're ready to test, after that, you're always good to go again now to get and establish a new one rep max. And those are fun. It's a fun day when you're trying to establish your one rep max. It gets exciting. I know at our gym in Franklin, Tennessee, at Temple Fitness, we have a bell that we ring, and people are always excited to ring the bell, get a new PR. We put it up on the board. It's a pretty fun day. So establishing that new one rep max is always pretty cool. It is fun, and we really enjoy it. So I hope you all do too. But all right, so now let's talk about how do you get into that one rep max. If you are establishing it and you are going to do a true one rep max, there's a proper way to get in there. For starters, we start off always with a good warm up, a general warm up. Stretching before weight training is not a good idea, so we use what's called a dynamic warm up. Dynamic warm up is things that are taking us through the range of motion, but does not stretching the muscle for an extended period of time. In strength training or resistance training, tension is strength. So we want to be warm. We want to have the tendons and the ligaments and the muscles warm and blood to that area. But we don't want to be stretched out where it makes us weak. To stretch out too much will make you weak, and it will be a detriment to your lifts. So we do a dynamic warm-up. Dynamic warm-up might be 5-10 minutes of high knees, butt kickers, Frankenstein walks, inchworms, things like that. Nothing that's going to really stretch us for extended period of time, but it's going to get the body ready, and it's going to get the synovial fluid of the joints rolling, and it's going to get us ready for our attempts. After that, once we do our dynamic warm-up, we go into, we'll take squat, for example. Let's say we got a 200-pound squat that we're trying for. You're going to start with just a bar, and you're going to keep it real light. You're going to 10 to 20 reps with just a bar on your back, 45-pound bar. Whenever we're exercising, whenever we're doing any of our lifts or anything, we always want to pretend as if we are doing it. That is every rep is our one rep max. So you're keeping everything super tight. You're concentrating on your form. You're making sure that you're hitting all your cues. Everything's in alignment. It's never just, let me get through 10, 20 reps as fast as I can on this. You're pulling yourself down. You're keeping yourself tight. You're doing it right. So I would urge you, when you're doing these warm-ups to get to your one rep max, to make sure that you're treating it like it is a 1 rep max, all of those reps. Okay, that makes sense? All right, so moving on, 45 pounds, 10 to 20 reps with just the bar in your squat, bar loaded, going on. All right, now from there, what I would do is I'd jump up to, one of my clients, I'd jump them up to 95 pounds. Typically what we want to do though is keep, if you're doing upper body exercises, you want to make sure that your jumps aren't more than 40 pounds. So anywhere in between 20 to 25 to 40 pounds is a good enough jump for your lower body, deadlifts and squats. Upper body stuff, shoulder presses, bench presses, you want to keep it down to 15 to 25 pound jumps in between each of your warm-ups. So now you're saying, well, you went from 45 pounds to 95 pounds, that's a 50 pound jump. In the beginning phases of the warm-ups, a little bit bigger jump in there is okay, because you're still operating at under what would be under 50% of your 1 rep max. Not till when you get over there is then it's you want to follow that rule of thumb that I gave you, 25 to 40 pound jumps. All right. So going from 95 pounds, let's go ahead. We'll throw a 30 pound jump in there, so that'll take us up to 125. At the 95 pounds, I would do 5 reps. And then I jump to 125. I would do 3 reps at 125. And then from there we go singles all the way out. So just ones from here on out. So then I would bump up another 30 pounds. I'd go to 155. I would do 1 rep at 155. Then I would go 1 rep at say 175 or 170 rather. Because as a rule of thumb, what you want to do is when you're making your attempts, and this is what we do in our powerlifting competitions, is you want to be at about 93% of when you're really making. Usually you take 3 attempts, 1, 2, 3 attempts to get, and on the 3rd attempt is when you go for a new PR or new max, right? So on your first attempt, you want to be at 93% of your 1 RM. So if it's 200 is the pound, roughly it would be about 185 pounds is what you throw on the bar to make your 1 rep, to make your first attempt. Bang that out, and then you would go to 195. It's close enough, it's 6 pounds, but 195, do 1 rep there, and then for your 3rd attempt, that's when you always go for your PR, set your new 1 RM. And that from there, I would go, depending on what the 195 looked like, I might go 205 or I might go 210, and then establish a new one rep max. So that's kind of a general idea of how to get to that 1 rep max. Again, you don't just jump in and do, and even if you did the proper protocol up into that, if you've never maxed before, you don't want to do that either. That's again where we're going to go back. We're going to try to get a 5 to 10 rep RM, and then we're going to calculate forward what your 1 RM would be. Only until we do a full cycle and make all the way down to where you can get through all of the stages of our periodized program will you make a true 1 RM attempt. And then from there out, then we follow the protocol and we continue to establish new 1 RMs as we go. Hope that makes sense. We'll talk to you soon in the next video. Have a great day, guys. See you.